Ukraine has been waiting for this decision for many months. The House of Representatives has approved a nearly $61 billion support package for Ukraine. This is aid that could be critical to the outcome of the war taking place across our eastern border. I would like to thank everyone who supported the package. It is a life-saving decision. I would like to personally thank Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson and all American hearts who, like us in Ukraine, feel that Russian evil cannot prevail. All Democrats and nearly half of Republicans voted in favour of the package. The bill will now be sent back to the Senate, from where it will likely reach President Joe Biden's desk in no time.
The whole world is watching us today. Winston Churchill, before World War II, spoke of those like Neville Chamberlain who chose dishonor over war and ended up with both. Likewise, isolationists today who choose to retreat from helping our friends who are being threatened and invaded will find that the struggles of our friends will sooner or later.
Associations with World War II come to mind. Polish President Andrzej Duda used similar arguments during a March meeting with the members of Congress. At the time, the Polish head of state urged the House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson to move quickly on a bill to support Ukraine. Won't it be as history teaches us from World War I and World War II, that in the end American soldiers, that is American guys, have to go to Europe, and there are left the graves of American soldiers who died on the European fronts defending freedom, democracy, all that is important for the so-called Free West. Maybe today it's better for the American taxpayer to sacrifice a few dollars to support the defenders of Ukraine. Apparently, Andrzej Duda's words got through to the American politicians. Shortly after the bill was passed, Mike Johnson repeated the argument cited by the Polish president, among others.
It's an old military adage, but we would rather send bullets to the conflict overseas than our own boys, our troops.
Johnson, who currently holds one of the most important positions in the United States, belongs to the conservative Christian faction of the Republican Party. He openly admits to his faith, skepticism about human impact on climate change, and opposition to LGBT ideology or abortion. In Europe, it would be unthinkable for a man with such views to hold important positions in the European Commission, for example. His initial skepticism about supporting Ukraine was probably overcome by Donald Trump. According to Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda, the former and possibly future United States President, was influenced by his conversation with Andrzej Duda. I have been hearing lately about the different rhetoric of Donald Trump himself and the willingness of the United States government to make necessary and long-awaited decisions. I think that this visit and the talks with Trump were positive, yielded a positive result, and I am very pleased with this achievement of Mr. Duda. The significance of the meeting, deprecated by numerous Polish media outlets, was recognized by, among others, US CBS News Television.
In terms of a persuasive voice on the Ukraine issue, he might be able to get through to Mr. Trump.
Foreign politicians and global headlines appreciated the role of Andrzej Duda. A slightly different assessment of the situation was made by Paweł Kowal of the Civic Coalition, who attributed the decision of the United States Senate to Donald Tusk. Prime Minister Donald Tusk was right when he put Allied pressure on Chairman Johnson. The massive coalition built together with the European allies to stop Putin has broken the resistance of some Republicans in the United States. Donald Tusk himself in February posted an insulting post against Republicans online after the US Senate voted on a bill to support Ukraine. Ronald Reagan, who helped millions of us regain our freedom and independence, must be turning in his grave today. Shame on you. At the same time, during his March visit to the United States, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, unlike the President, chose not to meet Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson, not to mention the most influential politician in the Republican Party, Donald Trump. On Sunday, Ukrainians in the capital city Kiev welcomed the US House of Representatives passing the aid bill. The aid is coming late. With God's will, the Senate will approve the bill so that Ukraine can regather its strength and fight back against the Russians. At first glance, $61 billion might not seem like a lot, but it gives us a chance to get weapons as soon as possible and kick the Russian invaders out of Ukraine. I believe that even though this aid is for the next 5 years, the war might end sooner. We badly want the war to be over and are doing everything we can. Ukraine is strong and is doing everything in its might, and these weapons will benefit Ukraine. We either end the war on terms that are very unfair to us or keep on fighting with the aid that we get. We don't have a lot of options. It's our army with our partners' weapons. The bills provide $60.84 billion to address the conflict in Ukraine, including $23 billion to replenish US weapons stocks and facilities.